Okay, what I will do is, now I do realize some of you have also sent me messages that you have low battery power in your mobile phones or in your laptops because of power outage in most of the Navy area. I do acknowledge that. So some of you have joined us though. So very quickly, let me just go over the matching question again. Okay, so matching question. Question number 1, correct answer is E. Question number 2, the correct answer is H. Question number 3, the correct answer is D. Question number 4, the correct answer is I. Question number 5, the correct answer is J. Question number 6, the correct answer is A. Question number 7, the correct answer is C. Question number 8, the correct answer is F. Question number 9, the correct answer is B. And question number 10, the correct answer is G. So that is what we had covered in the matching discussion. Those who have just joined us, thank you for joining in. As per your request, I'm recalling the answers. Now, short answers, question number 1. So the question is, what are the guidelines to follow when you draw a context diagram and other DFDs? Now, we have already discussed this, but I'm still recalling the answers. So there are 4 points. 1, those of you have already written the answers, you can cross-check. Draw the context diagram so it fits on one page. Next point, use the name of the information system as the process name in the context diagram. Point number 3, use unique names within each set of symbols. Point number 4, do not cross lines. One way to achieve that goal is to restrict the number of symbols in any DFD. I hope that you managed to get that. Now, another point, can you add another point there, is to provide unique names. Provide unique names. And reference number. Provide unique names and reference number for each process. Provide unique name and reference number for each process. Next point. Obtain as much user input. Obtain as much user input and feedback as possible. Full stop. Obtain as much user input and feedback as possible. Okay, so those were the answers and points for question number 1. Question number 2. Explain what a data dictionary is, making sure to include the definitions of the terms data element and record in your explanation. Provide examples for each of these as you include them. Now, for data dictionary, here's a definition. Okay, please write it down. Data dictionary is a central storehouse. Data dictionary is a central storehouse of information about the system's data. Central storehouse of information about the system's data. Full stop. An analyst uses the data dictionary An analyst uses the data dictionary to collect, comma, document, comma, to collect, comma, document, comma, and organize specific facts about the system. And organize specific facts about the system. Full stop. Data elements are combined into records, comma. Data elements are combined into records, comma. Record is a meaningful combination. Sorry, instead of a comma, can you make it a semicolon? Data elements are combined into records, semicolon. Record is a meaningful combination. Record is a meaningful combination of related data elements that is included in a data flow of related data elements that is included in a data flow full stop. For example, comma, for example, comma, a part shop inventory record, a part shop inventory record may include part number, comma, may include part number, comma, description, comma, supplier code, comma, supplier code, comma, maximum and minimum stock levels, maximum and minimum stock levels, comma, cost and price list, stock and price list, full stop. So from this definition, from this answer, we have given the definition of the word data dictionary, and then we went around describing it using the words data elements and record, and we gave an example of a part shop, which may include a data dictionary, and the parts of the data dictionary are part number, description, supplier code, minimum and maximum stock levels, costs, and price lists. Now, question number 3. On what structure is modular design based? Define each of the structure types. So first of all, we'll go and define what all combination of structures are there in modular design. So please write this down. Modular design is based on combinations of modular design is based on combinations of three logical structures. Three logical structures. Put down a colon, move on to the next line and write down one sequence. That's your very first logical structure, sequence. Put down a dash or a hyphen, and let's go and describe this. The completion of steps in sequential order. The completion of steps in sequential order. Sequential spelling, sequential, sequential order, comma. So what is sequential order? After the comma, it's write down one after another, sequential, in sequence, okay? One after another, full stop. The completion of steps in sequential order, comma, one after another, full stop. Next line, put down number 2. So the next type of design that you have is a selection-based design. So selection, put down a dash. Completion of one of two, the completion of one of two or more processes steps based on the results of a test or condition. Full stop. The completion of one of more or more process steps based on the results of a test or condition. Full stop. Move on to the next line. Write down number 3 is iteration. iteration. So that's the next modular design, iteration. Completion of a process step. The completion of a process step that is repeated until a specific condition changes. Until a specific condition changes. Full stop. Those are your three modular design-based structures: sequence, selection, iteration. Sequence is when you try to do things in an order, one after the other. Selection is you select things based on a certain condition. Iteration is basically the repetition of the step unless the condition changes. Now, moving on. You had a case scenario. So case one, okay, so we'll read that. It's a multiple choice question, so that shouldn't take us long to answer. Evan is an expert on all kinds of process description tools. So when his colleagues have questions, they know where to turn. One of the firm's beginner analysis is working on a financial process that will continue to print vendor payments until it reaches the end of the file. Which of the following processes will Evan suggest that the analysis use? Okay, so we're talking about a process that will continue to print vendor payments until it reaches the end of the file. So in other terms, it's sort of like repeating it until a certain condition is met. Now, looking at our definition, which one matches here? It repeats until a certain condition is met.
Iteration.
Iteration. Okay, thank you. So question number one, the correct answer is iteration. Okay. By the way, the pronunciation is iteration, IT. I think previously in the lecture notes I had mentioned is iteration. That's not correct. It's iteration. The pronunciation is iteration. 1D. Question number two. Another of the firm's analysts has been pounding his head against his desk for 10 minutes because he cannot figure out what is wrong with some structured English he has been using to describe processing logic. Evan walks over and spots the problem in an instant. Which of the following can be what Evan identifies the problem? One, the English is indented, the structured English is indented. B, the structured English is not a sequence, selection, or iteration structure. C, the structured English is a limited vocabulary. D, all of the above. Now, since this is talking about an analysis, so most likely it's talking about a project. Now, what you'll notice is that in project, you have basically three types of modular designs only, and those are sequence, selection, and iteration. So the correct answer over there is B. Structured English is not using a sequence, selection, and iteration structure. Next set of tutorial questions. The analysts at Novel Systems Worldwide are considering the four-modal approach to system development for a new client. Which of the following will not be developed if they decide to use a four-modal approach? Okay, a physical model of the system, a logical model of the current system, a teleological model of the current system, all of the above. Now, generally, there in a model structure, there's only two ways in which you can describe a model. Okay, it's a physical and logical. Teleological model, there's no such thing as a teleological model. So it says which the following is not. The correct answer is C, a teleological model of the current system. Next question, question number 4. To pursue the four-modal approach, which of the following is a likely outcome? Users will be unhappy. I don't think so. Users will be happy. Okay. Cost may be high. It will be possible to get a clear picture of the current system functions before modifications are made. It will not be able to. Okay. And number And D, option D is all of the above. So if you look at users, generally whichever model you use, the user will be happy. Okay. Now, generally when you use 2 modal or 4 modal approaches, what happens is generally the user is more happy with the more the model structure that you have or approach you have. Why? Because a it gives a more set of data to analyze things. It gives more options. It gives more solutions. So I think the user will be happy. So option A is counted out. B, the cost may be high. Yes, the cost may be high. Why? Because you will have to employ more people, more resources will be engaged, and generally, with more people, more resources, more hardware, more software is associated more costs. So B could be a likely answer over here. But let's look at option C. It will not be possible to get a clear picture of the current system functions rather before modifications are made. Now you will be able to get a clear picture. And option D is all of the above. So the correct answer over there is B. Cost may be high. Okay, so that concludes our tutorial questions for week 5. Now, just a reminder, okay, please, students, you have your mid-semester exam on week 7. Start revising. Everything covered from week 1. The coverage will be from week 1 to week 6. So please ensure that you are able to go over all the syllabus from week 1 to week 6, including your lecture-based quiz and also your tutorial questions. Shannon, you've just asked what was the answer of question 1 case study. So the answer for question number 1 case study was, let me go over the case study first. Okay, it's D, iteration. Number 1, D. Like I was mentioning it earlier, okay, so please do go over all the tutorials, your lecture-based quiz from week 1 to week 6. Okay, your week 7, we will not be conducting any lecture or tutorial class. Now, if you're behind in our labs, let's say on Gantt chart, which we were supposed to discuss in today's class, but just because of power failure or power outage, I'm not able to do so. So we might cover a bit of lab if you are not able to do it in next week's classes. But apart from that, the lecture and the tutorial class, I'll use it for revision class. So that will provide you with the revision. Your mid-semester exam will open up on, okay, it will open up on week 7, very first day of the week, 6 a.m. in the morning, close off on the following Sunday. Okay, more details on the opening and closing, okay, will be given by next week. What all are included, or what all will be there in your mid-semester exam? You'll have 20 marks of multiple choice questions, 10 marks of true or false, and 20 marks of 20 marks of short answer questions. Now, for your true or false, okay, I'm thinking whether to test you on true or false or to test you on the lab aspects. So that is an option. I'm still keeping it open. Probably by next week, I'll give you a confirmation and I'll let you know. All right, everyone. So your mid-semester exam basically carries 20% towards your coursework. It's huge. Okay, 20% towards your coursework, and it will be out of 50. You'll be given 1.5 hours, okay, to actually go and attempt your exam. Now, just one more reminder. Now, sometimes from my previous semesters, especially on online mode, I've seen students are not able to manage their time well when they're doing exams, online exams. Whether sometimes you would feel the time is too little, sometimes you are not able to complete questions. Now, to be on the fair side, what I will do is this time you will not get any time extensions, because generally when we prepare exams, we prepare questions on timely manner. That means how much time is allocated for each and every specific question or each section of the exams. So with that in mind, please ensure whatever time allocation will be given in, you have to use it well. See, what I've realized is the place where you go short of time is when you start typing the question on Google. When you start doing Google search, that's where you lose time. And yeah, so that's the place you end up losing time. Okay, everyone, so this is where I'll conclude the class for today. My laptop's battery is just about to wear out, so thank you so much for joining in. My apologies, since we are running the class in a short span of time just because of power outage. We'll try to get some additional time sometimes next week or in week 7 and cover up the remaining of the syllabus. Till then, stay safe. Thank you very much. Please start with the revision and also work on your major project. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.